Welcome to The Cameron Show. I'm your friend Cameron Tyler. I'm so excited that you're here today. We're coming to you from Dude IDK Studios, and today, yet again, we're here with my studio sister, Molly Smith.
Hi.
From Did That Age Well?
That's me.
Oh my gosh, we've been on each other's show so many times, I feel like we barely even need to do an introduction.
Oh my God, I know.
But
The real
it's
ones know.
In the tradition of Paris is Burning, I mean, The Cameron Show. How would you describe yourself in 10 words or less?
From the House of Cameron.
Thank God. It's about time someone says that. Nobody's introduced themselves like that before.
I know. Honestly, all of your guests should have to introduce themselves as from the House of Cameron.
From the House of Cameron, I am Molly Smith.
Yeah.
Rat-tat-tat-tat. Well, now we're from the House of IDK.
That's so true, actually.
Which
We are so, okay, that is so true. We are really from the House of IDK.
we are both sisters from the House of IDK.
Yeah.
The Cameron Show and Did That Age Well.
Yeah, you're really more
And
like my sister.
We are like sisters. I'm
Yeah.
not your mother.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
too
you are-
young and beautiful to be someone's old mother.
Yeah, but you are legendary, and that's all that is required in order to be mother.
That is true. I'm legendary.
Yeah,
Clearly, Molly and I just watched Paris is Burning.
clearly.
Clearly. What would you say as we start thinking about the movie?
Mm-hmm.
What I've already asked you the color of the room aura before.
Yeah.
What would you say the color of the aura of this movie is when you think about this movie? Like if you were wearing like a mood ring, like
Bright red.
it is ferocious.
It's hot. It's on fire. It's burning.
Paris is burning.
It's hot.
Now,
It's red hot.
if people don't know, let me tell you, because this is our third week of celebrating Pride here at the Cameron Show.
Happy Pride from the House of IDK.
Do you identify as a straight woman?
No.
I've never asked you this.
Yeah, I don't.
How do you identify?
I identify as a bisexual woman.
Bisexual woman.
Yeah. And sometimes a gay man.
And honestly, I support
Okay,
that.
you guys.
Sometimes
I
I
don't
hate
actually-
when women say that, but sometimes I love when women say
I don't
that.
actually identify as a gay man. I want everyone to know that this is not appropriation of your culture.
It's too late. I'm rage baiting everybody with just that clip. I identify as a gay man.
I identify as a gay
Cut to me
man.
being like, yeah, you and everyone else, Molly. Happy Pride.
You literally have told me to my face on the air, I see you as more of a gay man.
That's true. Well,
You have asked me more than once as a gay man, and then filled in the blank and asked me a question.
Well, that's why I had to ask. Happy Pride to you as a gay man and a bi woman.
Thank you.
I always have to ask because all I know is she has such a cute boyfriend.
I know it is so like, oh my God, embarrassing for my brand, but also
he's so
but
cute.
also he's so cute.
I love
and
shout out to
sweet.
Hunter.
Oh my God, he's gonna be so embarrassed to be perceived.
Shout out to Hunter. I'm perceiving you right now.
Oh my
Aura,
God.
bright pink.
Yeah. He is a sweet angel.
He's a sweet angel.
He's
I
a sweet
adore
angel.
him.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with him at dinner the other night
I'm so glad.
while he was eating his crawfish.
Oh my gosh, you know what he
Texas
said? Did I
boy.
tell you that later that night he said, "You know, I really like Cameron. He's so funny."
Stop it. You're
He
saying
did-
that just because we're filming.
I'm not just saying that. He said that
Hunter.
unprompted. It was like we were just kind of like sitting around, we were like watching a TV show or something. He goes, "You know, I really like Cameron. He's so funny."
And well, now he's in the will.
Yeah.
I'm leaving him half my stuff. I think he's so cute.
He's-
Okay.
He is from the House of IDK.
He is from the House of I. He might
Yeah.
be from the House of Cameron.
Oh, he might be.
Anyways.
He would never be on a microphone or on camera though. So
No, you guys will never know. But
You'll never-
he's
you will literally
so cute.
never know who he is. If he is ever interviewed for anything, he's gonna be like
Mhm.
those interviews where it's like dark and they muffle their voice.
It's
you know
going
what
to
I
turn
mean?
out only me and you have ever seen him. He doesn't exist. I'm just kidding, Hunter. We love you. We see you.
We see
Hunter
you.
visibility
Hunter visibility during Pride Month.
during Pride Month.
See
a
my straight
white man.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
See my straight boyfriend during Pride Month. Visibility.
Well, I'm glad I asked. So happy Pride to you in all the
Yeah.
senses. Happy Pride to me.
Thank you.
Happy Pride, everybody.
I actually can't believe that you thought I was a straight woman.
Well, I didn't. That's why I asked. I was like, I better clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also I can see why you would think that I'm a straight woman, considering I have a straight boyfriend.
Exactly. But you're not.
But I'm not.
And now that that's out of the way,
Yeah, thank God.
happy Pride.
Thank you. Happy Pride to you as well.
To celebrate Pride, because as you at home know, because you've probably seen our previous 5 episodes we've done together collectively throughout our podcast,
Hopefully.
Molly and I like to talk about movies. And because it's me, they're pretty much always gay movies. And now I have to say, we kind of broke the mold here. It's not a Judy Garland movie. It's not a movie about primarily gay men. It's a movie about the whole queer spectrum. Well, ironically, except for lesbians, really. I mean,
that's true.
I'm sure they're in there. And they're
behind the camera.
Yeah, behind the camera, we found out Paris is Burning is a 1990 documentary that is about ballroom culture in New York City. And it really is about ballroom culture of the late 80s. So I think they filmed like from 86 to 89. So it's a very fascinating peek into what not only New York City was like in the 1980s and not only queer New York City in the 1980s, but specifically in the ballroom community. Now, you said that you didn't watch the show Pose, right?
That's correct. Not yet.
Yet. We're going to watch it together this summer.
Yes, we are.
This is going to be an adventure Molly and I go on this summer. So we'll probably actually end up having to do a whole episode to unpack that.
God, that is so true.
But there's so much to unpack and I can't wait. And everyone at home, if you haven't watched Pose, you should watch it. It's very related to this documentary.
Yes.
And as I did a deep dive on some extra facts from this documentary, I found out, because remember, we watched it with our friend Jimmy.
Shout out, Jimmy. We love you.
Shout out, Jimmy. We love you. And Jimmy and I have seen Pose, and both of us, like every 5 minutes in this documentary, we're like, oh my God, that's on Pose.
You go, oh my God, I know her from Pose.
Yeah, because the characters are not based verbatim, but there's like characters based on the different subjects of this documentary.
Totally.
So there's a lot of themes in this documentary because ballroom culture in the late 1980s involved a lot of things. It involved the concept of queerness, of course, but also of family, social class, gender, obviously. I mean, I think womanhood on its own is a huge theme of this.
Of course.
Like separate from queerness. Just like
what femininity.
is a woman.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Me too.
And it also is a lot about creativity.
Yes.
It's a lot about dreaming.
And New York City, baby.
And New York City, baby. So.
And language.
Oh, and language.
Language. I love the way that the documentary is structured is that for each scene, basically, it centers on a word. It's like there will be a word that pops on the screen. And then one of the documentary subjects will describe what that means.
Shade.
And then you see it happen in real time. So much of the language that we often think is just like internet speak or it like comes from Gen Z is actually rooted in ballroom culture.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Mother is obviously close to home for me.
Obviously.
Because now I call myself a mother. And the funny thing is, if I were to really think about it, I would have to say that's completely derived.
Yeah.
If I did the deep dive back. The way I call myself a mother to Zach and Logan is really the same exact context as in this movie, except for in these movies, they're the mothers of houses. And a while back, we had Cam Warren on the show, who is also known as the drag queen Carmen Get It Crystals. And he explained to our friends at home about drag families. This is similar, but it's also different, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because not everyone in this culture is a drag queen.
Right.
I think that's one of the biggest things that I learned when I was watching Pose.
Yeah.
Did you go into this? Like, what were your perceptions of the ballroom scene before watching this and after? Were they the same or did you?
I think there were a couple of things that I learned from this documentary that I didn't know about ballroom culture. I think when I think about ballroom culture, I think about opulence. And I think about like femininity, and I think about like this like audacious, over the top aesthetic. But when I watched Paris is Burning, I learned that there are different categories
Mm.
that are more like army realness and
Yeah.
like
Butch Queen.
Butch Queen, things that are more like it's more like acting than it is like drag, because when I think of drag, I think of like it's over the top and playful, whatever it is.
Yes.
And not that like ballroom culture isn't playful, but like some of the different categories are approached with like a lot of seriousness and are trying to imitate life and be like a
Yes.
direct representation of what that thing is, rather than an over the top version of it. You know what I mean?
1,000%. And for anyone who's like listening and confused of like, what are you talking about? Let me paint a picture of what the ballroom scene is like.
Yes.
So if you were, let's say the year is like 1987 and
Mhm.
you're about to go to a ball.
Everyone close your eyes and picture
Everyone
yourself
close
there.
your eyes and picture this, okay? You're getting ready to go for a ball. You are part of the house of Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
That means that I am the house mother. I am looking over all my children and I'm
Mhm.
like making sure that you are ready to walk the categories for this ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what category you're walking. Maybe you're walking opulence. Maybe you're walking Butch Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the most interesting one I saw was, oh God, what were some of the weirder ones? There was like Schoolgirl.
Schoolgirl. I love
But
that.
it's not like raunchy Schoolgirl.
It's
It's
not-
literally like to what you were saying.
Yeah.
I go to Yale. So
Yeah.
they're wearing like a Yale sweater. They got
Yeah.
glasses. Their hair is on point. They have
Yeah.
books. They're serving schoolgirl realness. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's different categories. I, as your mother, I'm making sure that you're going to walk these categories, which means you're going to show off your look, show off
Mhm.
basically your act
Yeah.
to all the people at the ball. There are judges. So if you've ever heard the phrase tens, tens, tens across the board,
Mm-hmm.
that's because they're holding up literal numbers from 1 to 10 and they're
Yep.
giving you a rating and you're competing. It is not
Yep.
that different from RuPaul's Drag Race.
And RuPaul's Drag Race, of course, would not exist without the ballroom.
Absolutely not. So when
Yeah.
RuPaul says category is
Mm-hmm.
schoolgirl realness, that's really just coming from the ballroom scene.
Exactly.
So this whole documentary is about how these people who were not necessarily drag queens, they got together, I'm guessing like every week or a few times every week even,
Mm-hmm.
and they had these balls where they would compete for trophies, they would compete for pride.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it wasn't even really about money,
No,
but it's about notoriety, really.
it is. Yeah, it's about becoming legendary.
It's about becoming legendary. That is a
Mhm.
big word
Yep.
in this world. And so like we said, this film largely follows a group of subjects, and every group of subjects kinds of has their own thing that they bring to the table. So
Mm-hmm.
the first thing that I have in my notes, Pepper LaBeija,
Mm-hmm.
mother.
Mother.
The film, I think she's the first one that it
Yeah.
shows.
She's the first one we meet.
Something that I really think is interesting about her is obviously she talks about the importance of motherhood,
Of course.
but also when she gets to talking about what the ballroom is all about to her,
Mm-hmm.
she starts talking about how she feels like when she's in the ballroom, she can be anything she wants to be,
Mm-hmm.
and that in the ballroom, when she is in her own world, she is imagining herself as rich as she deserves to be.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't feel cheated out of being rich, but she feels like she deserves to be rich.
Yeah,
I thought that was so interesting
me too.
because I think it really goes to show that a lot of this truly wasn't about money
Yeah,
so much as opulence.
it was about feeling rich. It wasn't about like going on an expensive vacation. It wasn't about retiring. It wasn't even about like meeting basic needs. It was about feeling like you're $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's escapism.
Yeah. In a time when, of course, AIDS, duh.
Yeah.
In a time when like they needed to create this space where they could play whatever role felt like most true to them and what they deserved, because
Yeah.
this is a group of mostly Black and brown queer people.
Yeah, many of whom are trans.
Yeah.
And many of whom are living below middle class, I would say.
This is like a working class and poor community.
Totally.
They talk a lot about how many of the ballroom contestants' day jobs are turning tricks. They talk about how people will go without food in order to buy the stuff that they need for the ball, or like they'll like steal, which honestly, slay.
Yeah, slay. I honestly found that to be a really iconic.
I loved that. When my God, when they interview that one person who starts describing what was the
I'm
word
trying
again?
to remember the word that they used. It wasn't swiping. It was
It started with an S though, and
what? Yeah,
they were describing. They kept on like
I'm gonna look it up.
describing it. They'd be like, "It's when you go in a store and you're walking around and it's stealing. It's stealing."
Yeah, it's basically stealing.
So funny.
Yeah, I can't find the word for it, but yeah, they talk about how they do what they have to do so that they can walk these balls. Because the other thing is, unlike a lot of drag queens that we think of today, they're not like designing costumes necessarily. Like you were saying, they want realness in this era. And so what they want is like, I want that Halston dress that's in the magazine. And there was even a scene where he's showing the judges, or she is showing the judges, the suit or the dress. I can't remember who it was, but they're showing them the garment that they're wearing in the actual magazine to prove like this is off the
real.
rack.
Yeah.
That's something also I find extremely interesting, because I remember that when they were interviewing, I'm trying to remember which person it was. I think that it was actually, it might have been Pepper. They were talking about the history of the ballrooms. And so obviously in this documentary, we're sitting in the late 80s. So when they're talking history, they're talking about the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Right.
And they talk about how, like, in the 60s, the ideal drag queen or performer in these spaces is like a Vegas showgirl.
Yeah.
And so people wanted to emulate the Vegas showgirls. They wanted to be big, feathery, sparkly, ornate.
Yeah.
They wanted to give like a huge look. And then they say that it kind of shifted. The next phase of that is that people wanted to emulate movie stars.
Yeah.
But a lot of these movie stars were like white movie stars.
Yeah.
And so that's really interesting to me, because when you listen to like Madonna's Vogue, she clearly had her finger on the pulse of this culture, because she does a whole bridge with a whole bunch of 50s movie stars that people were trying to emulate.
Yeah.
But what they say at the most recent juncture, the thing that people want to be is they want to emulate realness. They want to be like a model.
Right.
They want to show the perfect human form. And a lot of these people got damn close to naked on the floor.
That's right.
And are like, touch my skin. Look how perfect this is.
Yeah.
And it was like a very purist conceptualization of a perfect body.
Right.
And it's so interesting, because I was thinking about it afterwards. If you think of what drag has become now, and I don't know if you watched early seasons of Drag Race.
Of course.
The interesting thing to me is, in the early seasons of Drag Race, which was 15 years ago, they wanted to emulate that realness still. And a lot of those people would say, I'm fishy. I'm serving real woman realness. RuPaul used to say, may the best woman win.
Exactly.
But over the last 15 years, as Drag Race has like propelled forward, it's almost like when bell bottoms come back into fashion.
Right.
Opulence is the name of the game again. Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting, especially because I think it was interesting to see how over the 80s, the ballroom culture did shift into more realness. But at the same time, it's like there were more categories. Like it became more expansive. Like if you were a big girl, there was like a category for you. If you wanted to be a part of like, if you wanted to be more like Butch Queen, there was like a space for you there. So it's almost like they were creating more space for different types of contestants, but at the same time, they were sort of diluting or some people might say that they were like diluting what the original I don't know, like aesthetic of ballroom was.
Yeah.
Not just aesthetic, but like the
The purpose.
purpose, the core.
Yeah.
And so it is interesting, like thinking about those like low production logo TV days of
Oh God.
Drag Race, where it was like, no, you literally these are men trying to look like women.
Yeah.
And now, like, drag is so expansive. It means so
Oh.
many things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. And I think that that's like great.
Yeah.
I think it's great that there's more space for different types of drag performance. Duh, who am I to say, like, no, I wish that it was just men dressing up like women.
Yeah.
But it's
so
interesting to see,
interesting.
like, how it has kind of come back. Do you think that that's, like, because of the conservative direction of this country, that we're like, okay, well, if you're going to be a drag queen, you better look like a mother in pearls?
I don't know. I wonder, because the interesting thing to me is like it was so opulent through the 80s when we were in a
Mhm.
hyper conservative time with Reagan.
Yeah.
And then if you look at like the 90s into the 2000s, when
Mhm.
things did get a little more liberal, we had the Clinton administration, we had Will
Mhm.
and Grace in the late 90s.
Yeah.
We had a boom of gay media in the early 2000s, pre
Mhm.
9/11, as
Pre
we know.
9/11. Yeah.
Then we were more focused on realness. But throughout the last 10 years that we've been dealing with Donald Trump, we've seen this explosion of
Mhm.
interpretation of what
Yeah.
is drag.
Right.
So I almost feel like the more conservative things get, the
Mhm.
more the concept of drag and what it means to be fluid in your gender explodes.
Interesting.
Almost like retaliation.
It's like swinging to the other end of the pendulum.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a reaction to
And that I
the
love.
mainstream culture. Yeah.
Because that just purely indicates that gays are honorary.
Absolutely.
Queer people are honorary.
Oh, for sure.
What do you think about this film's depiction of the girls' dreams? Because I think that throughout the
Oh
film,
my
a lot of the
God.
discussion with these girls is you come to realize that a lot of them are living in poverty, a lot of
Mhm.
them are living pre-transition, but they would like a transition. And I think for me, all the while, I was like, this is kind of a sad portrait because we know as the audience, these girls probably aren't going to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like, did you feel that way?
Of course.
Okay.
It was devastating. But it was also it was very bittersweet, because on the one hand you see the way that these girls light up when they talk about like
Yeah.
how they want to be models and how they want to pursue acting careers and how they want to be seen as the celebrities that they ought to be seen as, and how they want to have gender affirming surgery and how they want to be able to like live the fantasy, right?
Mhm.
And of course, it's the most devastating and heartbreaking when we hear Venus talk, Venus Extravaganza, say her name,
Say her name.
when she talks about her dreams and hopes for the future. And then, of course, we find out the next scene that she was murdered.
Oh, God.
But
Yeah,
so,
spoiler alert.
spoiler, she was brutally murdered.
She was brutally murdered during the making of this movie.
So fucked.
Like before this movie was completed. So
Yeah.
you will see a subject of this film, Venus Extravaganza, say her name.
Say her name.
Talk about her hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
And like the crazy thing is, Molly and I went into this, we did not know what the ending was. We did not know what we were in for. And yeah, even when she was talking about her dreams though, before it was revealed that she was murdered, I felt like this like, and maybe it's also because I'm sitting 30 years in the future.
Yeah.
35 years, 36 years in the future, that I'm like, girl, I love these dreams, because I think if I were watching this at your age, I'd be like, that girl has a dream and I think she might make it because
Yeah.
she sounds so sure of herself and she's so young. Me as a 34-year-old in the year 2026, I'm
Yeah.
like, even before I knew she was murdered, I was like,
You're like, well, she's not
girl,
going to have that.
she's not going to have that. And this
Yeah.
makes me so sad to watch
Yeah.
because she wants it so bad. And frankly, I feel like she deserves it.
Yeah.
And that is just not the way of the world. Then to find out that she was not only murdered, I mean, She was brutally murdered
Mm-hmm.
and like stuffed under a mattress. It's so unfair. In fact, Molly and I found out there's a documentary
Yes.
about her specifically that we plan on watching together. So you'll probably hear from us again.
We'll be back.
We'll
we
be
always
back.
are.
But it's called I'm Your Venus, and apparently it's like about her New York chosen house family and her biological family coming together in a search for justice because also her murderer was never found.
Yep, cold case.
Now, this is an example of a story that was mimicked on the series Pose.
Really?
One of the main characters, I won't tell you who because we're going to watch it this summer.
Obviously.
One of the main characters meets a very, very similar fate.
Oh.
And to me, I think the reason why it also hit so hard to me is because this girl was like 23 years old.
Yeah, when she's being interviewed talking about her dreams, she is sitting on a bed with stuffed animals. Like, she's so youthful and so
that
innocent.
got you.
Oh my God. I
During
could
the
not stop
movie.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my God, like, she's so pure of heart. She's so innocent. She's so like naive in this like beautiful way, like where you just like the whole world was ahead of her. But you know what? Something that was interesting thinking about the interviews where women are talking about their dreams. I did like that they showed us the girl who was on the beach, how she talked about like how she had surgery and she I mean it definitely like I can see how it would be controversial in today's like for today's viewer because she says I'm a real woman now because
she had a sex change.
Had the surgery.
Yeah.
However, I mean it does highlight like the importance of gender affirming surgery and how that can
1,000%.
impact a person's like sense of themselves. But of course like there's also comments made by the other girls who haven't had surgery yet who say like I want to be a real woman, like I want to get the surgery so I can be a real woman. Like they don't have the autonomy to like they're not allowed to claim themselves as quote real woman yet, which is fucked up. But I like that we got to see that woman on the beach feeling joyful. She did what she motherfucking set out to do.
She did that.
She did that. She had
I would
a
like
dream.
to know where that woman is now.
And
I hope
so
she's
would I.
thriving.
I hope so too.
Because I'll tell you what, spoiler alert, I did a deep dive.
They're all
Most of
dead?
these people are dead.
Yeah.
This is like PTSD moment from Boys in the Band.
Yeah, where they all died of AIDS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Molly and I previously, as you know, if you tuned into our podcast on Did That Age Well, a couple weeks ago, we just watched Boys in the Band, and that movie was made in 1970. By the end of the 90s, most of the cast was dead because of AIDS.
Yeah.
Pepper LaBeija died in 2003, heart attack from diabetes, actually.
Oh.
Dorian Corey, which she was the woman putting on her makeup in the mirror. She was such a mother. Actually, I think she was the one talking about the history of things going from showgirl to actress to model. She was iconic, and I have more to tell you about her soon.
Oh, can't wait.
She died in 1993 of AIDS-related complications. Venus Extravaganza obviously died from trans violence, anti-trans violence. Willie Ninja died in 2006 from AIDS-related heart failure. Octavia St. Laurent died in 2009. There wasn't a cause. Angie Extravaganza died in 1993 from AIDS-related illness.
Oh my God.
And Kim Pendavis and Freddie Pendavis, it's not confirmed where they are now.
Okay.
So it's very sad. I think if I were rewatching this again, which I think I actually will rewatch it because I'm going to make so many people watch this movie.
Of course.
It's like it's like a time capsule.
I know. It's really embarrassing that we only watched it for the first time.
I'm actually shocked because I famously love old gay movies.
I know. And this is kind of like the big one.
This is kind of the crown.
And Jimmy, that the three of us hadn't seen this yet, is frankly so embarrassing for us.
Yeah, and Jimmy has an older gay brother who he got so mad at for not telling him, warning him about Venus.
Yeah.
So all three of us were very shocked at the end of this. Yeah. You, listener, will not be because we have just spoiled it for you. But you should still watch it.
Here's the thing. You can't spoil a documentary because it actually happened.
And also 36 years ago. So if you haven't seen it, you deserve for that to be spoiled.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that was never spoiled for me, by the way.
Same.
Let me tell you about Dorian Corey.
Yeah.
So Dorian Corey was actually probably my favorite subject of this documentary.
Mm-hmm.
She's an older queen. She's been around the block. You can tell she's seasoned. She's in her interview in this documentary. She's taken her sweet ass time. She's putting on her eyeshadow. She is telling the documentarian like it is, filling them in on this is what shade is, and this is what a family is, and she's slow moving, intentional, but it's just easy for her. She knows what she's talking about because she's been in it for so long.
She's a historian.
And I mean, I hate that she died 3 years after this film came out because I think she'd be one of the most fascinating people to give a perspective. Would have to see if she's been in any other documentaries, but I don't think so. Something that's interesting about her is that she became infamous posthumously because there was a mummified body found in her closet.
Shut up.
After her death.
She literally had a body in the closet.
She literally had a body in the closet, skeleton in the closet.
Shut the fuck
And I'm
up.
going to read you what Wikipedia says about it because it's the most succinct description of it that I could find.
Wow. Okay.
After Corey's death, the preserved body of Robert Worley, also known as Robert Wells, was found amongst her belongings. It appeared that he had died from a gunshot wound to the head. He was last seen by his family in 1968.
What?
She died in 1993. Investigators determined the body to have been dead for approximately 25 years. There is speculation that Worley and Corey were lovers. Worley was abusive toward Corey, and Corey shot Worley in self-defense.
Oh my God.
Alternatively, it is also speculated that Worley may have been shot in an attempted robbery. In the TV series Pose,
Oh my God.
I'm not going to tell you too much about this, but I will just tell you in the TV series Pose, there is a storyline based on this that I had no idea was based in reality when I watched Pose.
Up.
When I tell you Pose is one of the best series on television,
Yeah.
I really mean it now because now I'm realizing how much of it was true.
Right.
I mean, even when we were watching the documentary, they showed the ballroom and I was like, oh my God, this is the exact ballroom on Pose.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stress enough. I had no idea that was a real storyline. And I certainly, when we were watching Paris is Burning, had no idea that was the person that this storyline was based on.
My God.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm gooped.
I'm gagged. And I find her more iconic than ever.
Honestly, same.
This is a person I really wish lived to write a memoir, but I don't think
I want the tell-all. I want the tell-all so bad.
I don't think that occurred. I really don't.
Oh, tragic.
So I think something that's really interesting to me in this documentary is, speaking of how most of these girls are dreamers, the first thing I'll say is this. I think it's really interesting how heteronormative a lot of their dreams are.
Yes, I
Don't
wanted to
you?
come back to that.
Yeah.
I think that it's interesting how, despite the fact that they have created this space, this alternative to mainstream reality where they can be legendary, where they can be opulent, where they can be award-winning in their category and develop expertise in a field, you might say, that they still are like living in mainstream society. Like, yes, there's like this subculture, but everyone is still subject to the same pressures of wanting to be white and thin and feminine, realness, you might say.
You're still living in Reagan's America.
Period. And
or Bush's America at the end of the 80s.
Yeah. But it's like it really broke my heart to see that like so many of the subjects of the documentary are desiring to be passable. Like they want to pass as women. They want to pass as like ethnically ambiguous, is like kind of another like undertone. It's not always said explicitly, but like based on the beauty standards that they all worshipped, like the thinness and the, I don't know, like it reminded me like, oh yeah, we're still in America.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I mean? We're like, we're not, this is a subculture, but like we're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one way in which I walked away from this film feeling like, you know what, we've come such a long way, because it
Mhm.
also broke my heart, especially with Venus,
Mhm.
when she was giving her last interview on the documentary and she's
Yeah.
saying, you know what, I faced a lot of hard times,
Mhm.
but it's going to be worth it because one day I'm going to be a beautiful woman
I
and I'm going to
know.
be somebody's wife and I'm going to
Oh
be
my God,
somebody's
yeah.
mother. She wanted this sense of normalcy that I found very
Mhm.
interesting, considering the like actual aspects of her current life.
Totally. Yeah, there's like this desire to be a member of mainstream society. And at the same time, I'm kind of like, you know what? Like, if we give people the freedom to be anything that they want, who am I to say, like, well, but you shouldn't want to be somebody's wife?
Oh yeah,
You know what I
totally.
mean? It's
I mean,
like,
for her that was a pipe dream. Like
exactly.
that was almost as unattainable as becoming famous,
Yeah.
which she also wanted,
Yeah.
like at the same time. And I'm just like, that's so interesting to me because
Mm-hmm.
on one hand, we have come so far to where that is, if she were here today, that
Mm-hmm.
is a dream that wouldn't necessarily be unattainable.
Right.
And it's not because, to your point, it's not because it would necessarily be any easier for her to get out of poverty or
Right.
any easier for her to have a sex change, but it probably would be easier for her to find a partner,
Mm-hmm.
um, because everybody's expectations of what that looks like
Mm-hmm.
have been softened.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully.
hopefully, I mean, anyone
Some.
with a brain,
No- Yeah.
no offense,
No offense.
actually
But
full
we
offense.
want you to feel offended.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah.
Um, and so on one hand, I felt like very comforted by that.
Yeah.
That we have relinquished a lot of the heteronormativity around
Mm-hmm.
genderqueerness and
Yes.
trans life in America.
Absolutely.
On the flip side, something that I have been thinking about since we watched this movie is I think about the fire in these young queer people's
Mm-hmm.
souls
Yes.
in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in this film, they interviewed kids as young as 13 and 15
Mm-hmm.
who are, one of them didn't have parents. And the other one, he's just like, yeah, I live with my mom in Harlem, but she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't care where I go.
Yeah.
And so they're just like these young queer kids on the streets. And so many of the kids go into the ballroom culture at that young age,
Mm-hmm.
and they are supported by mothers and families of the ballroom culture.
Mm-hmm.
And they use that as fuel to work their asses off, to look their best every week,
Mm-hmm.
to vogue their best every
Yeah.
week, to serve their best every week. And and to be as creative as they can.
Yeah.
And participatory as they can. And I was just thinking, like, I think there are a certain number of young queer kids like that these
Mm-hmm.
days, but so much of it. And this is like a very a relatively new term on Drag Race. I don't know if you've heard it, a bedroom queen. Have you heard that
Yeah,
term?
I have heard that.
Like someone who just does drag in their bedroom and
Yeah.
for the primary purpose of social media.
Yeah. Someone who performs for social media, basically.
That makes me sad.
It makes you sad that that is another category, or that like queens can be queens without performing on a stage.
I think it makes me sad that a lot of queens are missing out on the community that comes with
Mm-hmm.
gatherings such as the ballroom culture. Now,
Yeah.
on the flip side, I completely understand, so don't come for me. I completely understand that if you live in Nowheresville, Alabama, and you're a bedroom queen, that can be your only point of access
Right.
for
Yeah.
community. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, to those queens who have full access and could
Mhm.
have the ability to go out and, like, live in a 3D world of queerness.
Yeah.
I just fear that they're missing that.
Yeah.
because it's so alluring, the idea of just doing this, using like filters,
Mm-hmm.
managing, communicating with people through comments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like now, especially that we're more and more living in a world of artificial intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think what it means to perform is changing,
Yeah.
and what it means to participate and what it means to be in a community
Mm-hmm.
is changing. And like
Yep.
even these kids with super limited resources,
Mm-hmm.
and let's be real, even poor kids now have more resources than they did in the 90s and 80s,
Right. To
because
be
we live in like a world where buying luxuries is like commonplace now. Like
where
we
like
live in an Amazon world.
exactly. It's like you might not have a dollar to your name, but like you do have a phone.
But
I
you
know
exactly,
I know that some people don't have phones, but it's like
generally
it
though,
is typically like it is a necessity to participate in society as much as having a house or food or whatever.
exactly. And the internet, yeah, like
Mhm.
most people have the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a marker for poverty. So what I'm saying is like I worry that because that now is some people's like either their preference or because it's the easiest way for them to
Mhm.
participate. I don't see like a ballroom culture being able to exist. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah.
does ballroom culture still exist in the same way? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that I don't know, there's a part of me, I think the optimist in me thinks that there will always be a desire to, and like through sheer willpower, like just human will, there will be people who get together to experience that magic in community in person.
That's true.
And I recognize that like that's not accessible for everybody.
Mhm.
I recognize, like you said, that there are some people in the middle of nowhere who the only way for them to participate in this culture and to connect with other people is through social media. And like that's super cool that we have that. It makes it even more important when, in different areas of the country, lawmakers are like banning drag,
Oh
that
my
a
god.
person can be able to, it's like, yeah, okay, well, we're literally all on the internet. You can't like ban us from seeing
Now that
drag
part makes
content
me, yeah,
on the
feel a
internet.
lot better.
So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, like literally we all have phones, so it's not like this is the only avenue to experience anything like ballroom culture is
Yeah.
in person. However, it does kind of like it does kind of bum me out too that so much of it then becomes about, I guess we're kind of like doing a full circle, because um if you're, and people might come for me in the comments, and that's fine because I'm not a drag queen, and so what the fuck do I know? But
Right. Same.
if you're someone like Sugar and Spice, your thing is a lot about just the literal aesthetic. It's like, okay, I'm like getting dolled up to go on camera and show you that like I can turn a look, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
There isn't the same like there isn't the same kind of like interaction with the crowd and walking the runway and voguing. And
Exactly.
there isn't the same type of like you don't have to be a host. You don't have to like do other things, and that's not to say that like that you have to be able to do everything in order to like be a good performer.
Mhm.
But I think that there is something that gets lost when it becomes all about the aesthetic. But at the same time, I was just talking about how the ballroom culture, like so much of it really was just all about aesthetic and opulence.
True.
So it's sort of like, but the people felt opulent not just because of what they were wearing and like how they painted themselves, but because they were getting like the cheers and support from the people who were watching,
Yes.
and they were getting scores from the judges in person.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the part that I think that I fear is
Mm-hmm.
missing, is the in-person participation. And I'm not even one of those people that's like people shouldn't work from home because it's not in-person like
Right.
interaction. I'm like there's just a very important part of queer community. For instance, when the Drag Race finale came out, this
Mhm.
past season, I was like, I told my friends, we have to go watch it at Hamburger Mary's.
Right.
There's something about drag that is meant to be experienced. And you know, for this purpose, I'm referring to the ballroom culture as drag.
Yeah.
Because when I'm talking about drag right now, I'm talking about like performing to play with gender,
Yeah.
to turn a look, to put on a show.
Mhm.
There's a certain part of that that is meant to be community.
Exactly.
And online community, I'm sorry to tell you girls, it's just not the same.
Mhm.
This documentary, for me, like the biggest thing about it is there's really no excuse not to have community
Yeah.
because these people all had the odds stacked against them.
Mhm.
Limited resources, certainly
Yep.
limited time. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them would talk about how, like, I was at work all day.
Yeah.
Before that, I was staying up all night working on my costume.
Yep.
And now I'm going to be up all night at the ball.
Yeah.
Like, they were so hungry for community
Yeah.
and to be together that I feel like that hunger, not for everyone, again, acknowledging you out there in the middle of nowhere watching this from
Yep.
Nowheresville, Louisiana
Yeah.
or Montana.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, that hunger for community is not there because it's so easy and accessible on the internet.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
also like living in a like quote unquote post-pandemic world. Like
Oh,
there's so
yes.
many
That
people
too.
who like for whom going out and being with a bunch of people like truly isn't accessible, whether like they're disabled or whether
Yeah.
they're like immunocompromised or whether they like I don't know, like have social anxiety or
Yeah,
whatever.
even
Like
just socially,
even
it changed
people
people.
who just like are weird because they were inside for a long time, which
Yeah.
who among us,
Yeah.
you know, is
Yeah.
not. But it's just like, yeah, it's such a different time because we have this like ease with which we can gather virtually, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's giving us the same kind of experience as it would be in person. Like obviously it's not.
No.
But there's the question of like accessibility. But like you said, it's like I don't want to make it sound like, oh, well, you know, like these these girls stayed up all night and they went to work all day, so like what's everyone else's fucking excuse for not getting out and
Yeah,
doing their
same.
thing? That's like not what I'm saying. I'm saying like I think that it's so hard to compare because like the world is just so different. Like
That's
so many of
true.
these things in the ballroom culture, like you said, it's reflected in Pose. We wouldn't have Drag Race without it. We wouldn't have so much of the language that we use in mainstream culture. Like there's so much that is still relevant today from the 1980s ballroom culture. And it's such a different context that we're in right now that it's hard to say I don't know, like some of the details, it's like I don't know that we could recreate that today because it's just a different world.
Yeah, we're not in the same kind of crisis we were in. I
Yeah.
think like to a certain extent, the in-person community and the organization of it and like the
Mhm.
gathering of it all was necessary for survival in a way that it's not
Literally.
necessarily necessary for survival now.
Yes, absolutely.
But I guess maybe I'm also just paranoid that one day it will be necessary for our survival.
Period.
Because who knows when they're going to turn off all our phones. I don't trust the government.
I don't trust them.
I don't trust Trump's America.
No. And we certainly
I
know
don't trust Kash Patel's FBI.
God, no. And we certainly don't trust how Republican administrations have treated epidemics and pandemics.
No.
So
I
You
mean,
know?
it's something that I've been thinking about a lot of like, has social media, has the internet, has AI changed what it means to be in queer community? And obviously, yes, it's changed it, and not
Yeah.
all for the worse.
Totally.
I love the accessibility of the internet and what it can bring. I would not be me without it.
Totally. Talk to anyone about Grindr and they'll say,
1000%.
God bless.
Although some people would say, you know what? In my day, we didn't have Grindr and we weren't
Yeah.
so damn picky.
That's
And
so true. They would say, you go cruising, you go for whoever is there.
yeah, we'd be on a pier at 3 a.m. taking what we could get. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? There's a certain romanticism to that.
That is
because
so
now
true.
Grindr is like the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Totally.
There's almost too much when
Analysis paralysis.
analysis paralysis when it's
Yeah.
all at your fingertips.
Yep.
Metaphorically speaking,
Sure.
do you want any of it?
Right.
From experience, I would say not as much.
Not really.
And that's kind of crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
coming up on time.
Okay.
And I told you that because this is our 6th episode we filmed together collectively, you've done the jars, you've done Sip, Savor, Spill. I
Yeah.
created custom questions for us today.
I am so excited that I get special questions.
You get special treatment, but you know what? Anyone who comes on this many times shares a microphone with me.
That's
You'll
true.
get special treatment too, but so far Molly's the only one who's achieved that, okay? So these are questions that I created based on what I have been thinking of since watching the movie, because this movie really ignited a lot of thoughts to me. I think if you want to watch one movie for Pride Month, trust me, I could recommend 100 movies to you. But this year, watch Paris is Burning, because it will, especially in the climate that we're in right now, I think that it gave me a sense that queer people have always been here. Queer people have always been fighters.
Yep.
Queer people have always been survivors. If you want to feel that in your soul, watch Paris is Burning.
Yep.
So I have a sip question, a savor question, and a spill question for us to discuss. Sip, our light question. Ankle deep. If you had to walk one ballroom category today, but in your real life, what would it be and what would you wear?
Oh my God.
Out in the world, girl.
I would say category is Y2K.
Oh, I love that.
And I would wear my jelly shoes. I would wear
Ooh.
my choker necklace. I would wear my silly sunglasses. Just silly. Any sunglasses that are like kitschy and silly.
Yes.
I would wear my halter top. I would wear my gaucho pants, bitch. And I would walk the runway with my little like ring pop on my finger.
Oh my God, a ring pop is perfect. I was
Yeah.
literally thinking a sucker when I was
Yeah.
imagining this.
Yeah.
But a ring pop is
But a
truly of
ring
the
pop.
era.
And I'm going to show it off like I'm showing off $1 million ring. I'm showing it off. I'm showing it off. I like it.
Oh my God.
That's my
I
look.
fear it would be 10, 10, 10s across the board.
I fear you're
The
right.
ring pop would put it over the edge for me. I
Yeah.
mean, wow, that was a great attention to detail.
Thank you. Don't forget the butterfly clips, babe. in
Oh
there.
my
They're in my
God.
Yeah.
What song are you walking to?
I'm walking to Spice Girls. I'm walking to Spice Up Your Life, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, I love this.
Yeah. That was easy. I mean,
That was so easy for you to answer.
yeah. I felt it in here.
I have to say, are you watching Euphoria? Do you watch Euphoria?
I can't do it. I watched season
Mhm.
2 and I cannot do season 3. I'm not going to do it.
What part of it is it that you don't like?
It's not funny at all. I need
No,
it
it's
to
not
be
funny. No,
It's not
a
it's
funny show.
completely humorless. It takes itself way too seriously. They really did Barbie dirty. And I really think that they need to lighten the fuck up.
Well, I'll tell you what.
They're
I'm
not
watching
going to.
season 3. It's not light.
No.
It's heavy and dark.
Yeah, and I knew that it would be. And like I just think the creator of the show, I can't stand him. I think that
Yeah.
the whole
I
thing
gather that he's pretty horrible.
Yeah, I just think like I get why it wins awards and stuff, but for me, I'm just like there's so many better dramas out there that also can lull a little bit.
Yeah, I think, does it even win that many awards? I don't even know that it does.
I mean, it did when like the first season.
Maybe I just like can't remember because it takes 5 years.
Yeah,
between
maybe because it
seasons.
was a decade ago that started. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, like, I'm watching season 3 because it's the
Mhm.
final season and I'm this far in and I have to finish it.
Yeah,
Also, I love heavy dark
I
television.
know you do.
It is, I will say, even for me, a little gratuitously dark
Mhm.
this season.
Wow,
But
and that's saying a lot if you
that's
know
saying a
Cameron.
lot, yeah, because my comfort movies all seem to be movies
Mhm.
about the AIDS epidemic.
Totally.
But what I will say that I am enjoying this season a lot is that for some reason they've chosen to, and maybe it's because they're grown up this season, it's like
Yeah.
post high school, they've really leaned into a very 1970s aesthetic.
Interesting.
Yeah, film wise and also with the style, like costumes.
Oh my gosh, Jimmy would hate it.
Oh,
Jimmy hates
probably.
the
I
1970s
can't
aesthetic.
imagine Jimmy enjoying the season of Euphoria or
No.
any season of Euphoria.
Yeah.
They've really leaned into the 70s though, like
Yeah.
color-wise,
Interesting.
style-wise, and
Huh.
it's making me think, you know what? Maybe I would serve 1970s realness.
Ooh.
I'm like about to do a rewatch of the Brady Bunch because of this.
Oh my God,
Like,
I love that.
am I about to wear bell bottoms?
Yeah, I think you are.
vest?
You did. This is now the second time you've brought back bell bottoms in
I've
this
been thinking
conversation.
about bell bottoms a lot
It's on your
lately. I have to be
mind.
honest. Or
Yeah.
flares as they're called.
I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
So Y2K and 70s realness for
Yeah.
me and you.
I love that.
I'm glad we'll be walking in different categories.
Me too, because I don't want to see you as a competitor. I don't want to see what happens in that.
Me neither.
I mean, obviously you would win.
I'm not saying I would annihilate. No, I actually think you would win.
No, I think you'd
Well,
wipe.
for 70s, I would win.
Yeah,
But
of
for
course.
Y2K, I don't think I could match up with you.
I don't think you could either.
And I would, by the way, I would walk to Donna Summer
Thank you.
on the radio.
Very good.
I would my version of 70s realness would be like 70s gay
Mhm.
romantic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
But you know what? I'd butch it up.
Ooh.
I'd give 70s butch.
Yeah.
I'm going to come up with that one day. One
Okay.
day, let's go out in these outfits.
Oh my God.
And when
You're
people
all
ask
invited.
us, like, what are you doing? We're like, we're serving our categories.
Yeah. Category is
Oh my God.
70s butch.
70s butch and Y2K realness.
Oh my God. I see you in a jacket and a shirt unbuttoned to the gods. It's
I'm giving
unbuttoned
chest
all
hair.
the way down. You've got a gold chain necklace sitting atop your chest hair.
Stay tuned for this because
Stay tuned.
I'm determined to make this happen. This might be like our birthday celebration this year. Molly and I, we have very close birthdays. We're
Yeah.
both Leos,
If you
end of
didn't
July
know.
Leos. If you didn't know, our birthdays are only a few days apart, and
Yep.
this might be how we celebrate this year.
I can't wait. It definitely is how we're celebrating.
Wow. Let's savor.
Okay.
The savor question is this. Can you remember a moment in your life when you realized you were performing a version of yourself to fit in? And what did it take to stop?
Wow.
To serve Molly realness?
That is a beautiful question.
I love that.
I love that.
And I would love to know. Because I
know-
also don't know that I can see you, like, wearing a mask. But I didn't know you when you were a teenager. I don't know.
That's
Maybe you
true.
did.
You know, I think that there were times when in junior high, probably like most people, like you kind of try on different what am I trying to say? Like prototypes of
Oh,
people. Or like you try on
yeah.
different stereotypes. You're like, okay, so am I like a sporty girl? Am I
Yeah.
like a reader? Am I
They're like archetypes.
archetypes is the word I was looking for. Archetypes. You try on different archetypes, and for a while
Yeah,
I
you do.
was popular in junior high.
Oh, okay.
Anyone who came to my Mortified show knows that I was
Me.
best friends with Tori, who was the most popular girl in school, and I was like, and I loved being popular. I was like, this is awesome.
Well, you're a Leo, so.
Duh.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel true to like who I was. I didn't actually like going to the movies with Tori and her boyfriends. I didn't like,
I get that.
you know what I mean? It's like I liked doing my other stuff.
I get that.
Yeah.
So you would say like middle school, high school?
Yeah, I would say like middle school. By high school, I was, I think, like an earnest version of myself. I think that sometimes I would identify too much with the stuff that I liked and making that my personality,
who
like a
doesn't?
fucking hipster
Yeah.
and stuff. I was an insufferable
You're
hipster.
a millennial.
Girl,
We were all insufferable hipsters at one point.
that's so true.
That's so fair.
And if you weren't, like,
What were
what's
you
wrong with
doing?
you? But
That or
but I
emo.
genuinely did love the stuff that I loved. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
That's pretty good if you were pretty earnest by high school.
yeah,
I'd
but
say I had to do that journey in high school.
really, I mean,
Yeah.
there was a period of time in high school when I was like really religious, and
Same.
girl,
Didn't we all?
high school in America, am I right?
Mm.
But at the time, I really did believe that I believed that stuff. You know what I mean? It's not
Oh,
like I
yeah.
was playing a part, being like, oh, well, I better pretend to be a Christian so that people like me. It was like, I really thought that that was who I was.
Oh, I've been there.
You get it.
Yeah. As far as like when I was performing,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've actually ever talked about this on this show, and it's pretty rare that I spill new
Ooh.
information.
Oh
Although
my
maybe I have. When
God.
I was in 8th and 9th grade,
Mm-hmm.
I was like really having an identity crisis. Shockingly, I didn't even put this in the book, and I don't know why, because I think I
Wow.
should have.
Okay.
This is a very formative thing that I've only recently has resurfaced to me, and I've discussed it with
Mhm.
my cousin Tiffany. When I was like 13, 14, I wanted to embrace my like Chicano side so bad.
Okay, I love that.
This is before I changed my last name to Martinez.
Okay.
And I was really irritated. This was a time in my life where I became very resentful of the fact that I was white because a lot of my cousins would make fun of me for being white.
Oh.
Yeah. And they'd be like, oh,
Mhm.
yeah, that's Cameron. He's white. Even my grandpa's nickname for me was Coyote,
Oh my God.
which is like a derogatory word for white people,
Yeah.
meaning that white people are untrustworthy,
Yeah, totally.
which I don't know if the shoe fits, but I didn't
Sure.
like being called that.
Yeah.
And
You were like, but
so-
not me.
And I was super close to my cousin Tiffany at the time. And I was just like, all the time, I would look at her eyes and I would think, you're so lucky you have brown eyes, which is crazy because
Yeah.
my eyes are gorgeous. If you've never seen my eyes, they are gray,
Yeah.
but they're gold around the irises. My eyes are beautiful.
Zoom in on
Zoom
that.
in. But at the time, I wanted brown eyes so bad. So we
Yeah.
went to, I don't know what the place is even really called, but we called it the Mexican Flea Market at the time, and it's like
Uh-huh.
on 8th and Federal.
Totally.
I bought color contacts that were
Shut
honey brown.
Up. Oh my God.
I bought honey brown color contacts to cover up my blue eyes.
Wow.
If that's not like a metaphor for being in the closet, tell me what it is.
Girl.
But I was so like wanting to assimilate with my cousins
yeah.
that I bought these. And here's the thing, I couldn't put them in. For the life of
Aw.
me, to this day, I've never put contacts in my eyes because
Really
I can't do it.
freaks you out.
I can't, it freaks me out so bad.
Wow.
I
It
wore
is
glasses
weird
all the
touching
way.
your eyes.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Wow.
I wore glasses all the way till I got LASIK in 2023.
Whoa.
So I bought these. I tried for
my
2 hours to
God.
put them in,
Oh, poor baby.
and then I couldn't. So I
It
gave
wasn't
them
meant to
Tiffany.
be.
And Tiffany already had brown eyes, but she wanted honey brown eyes.
Wow. Can I ask you a question and you can cut this if you want?
No, I'm gonna keep it in. What is it?
Okay. I'm curious how your relationship to your identity has changed or not as you've adopted more of the, like, I don't want to call it a stage name, but your mainstream name, your public name as Cameron Tyler.
Oh, I will say, like, I don't not use Martinez for any other reason than Cameron Tyler just seems like a great catch-all for everything I've ever been.
So true.
And so I don't ever want it to seem like I'm steering away from being brown when I don't use Martinez.
Yeah.
I'm super proud, like, especially because I correlate that name with my grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
and like being brown is like so important to me. And like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want brown eyes anymore, but that's because I've come to realize that like the part of me that is Chicano and the part of me
Mhm.
that like the values that my mom instilled from that side of the family and stuff like that has nothing to do with my eye color.
Of course. It's so much
So I
deeper
feel
than that.
more
Yeah.
realized in it, I guess.
That's beautiful.
And like I now, like, when I think of like the pride I take in it, has
Mhm.
nothing to do with a physical aesthetic or matching
Yeah,
my cousins
Totally.
or like liking the same stuff they like. It's all
Mhm.
about just like the values I carry forward and knowing where that side of my family, like where the people
Mhm.
came from and what they persevered through and how they're still here
Yeah. That's
after
so
all this time.
beautiful.
So yeah, thank you for asking
Wow.
that. Wow.
You're welcome.
That was deep.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, final question before we wrap up.
Okay.
Spill. Do you think the world is actually safer now for people to be fully themselves, or have we just gotten better at watching each other do it?
Damn. I think it really depends on like what communities you have access to,
Yeah.
where in the world or in the country you
Mhm.
live.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's so many different factors. Like I can say for myself that like being in the city that I'm in, being in the community that I'm in, like I feel a lot more comfortable being myself than I think I probably would have in 1986 if like I was alive then.
Yeah.
Um but I think that I just think that it's still so like tragic and hard to be queer in so many different spaces. Like
Yeah.
for some people it's super easy. Like for me it's easy. I have a straight boyfriend. Like I mean I know that some people would like look at my music taste and be like, yeah, she's gay. But like
Yeah.
for the most part it's like I'm straight passing. I've never been like for a long time I was like, well, I can't call myself bisexual because I've never faced oppression. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
I
was
get
like
that. I
I was
get
like,
that.
yeah, I've like that's not something that I can like tell people because it's like, you know, I can't be a part of the group. I'm not in the community.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Like in some ways, the expectation of
yeah.
being one of these things has become so heightened that it
Mm-hmm.
almost feels like, well, now I can't do it because I'm not that enough.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like,
get that.
so I don't know. In some ways, I think that like, it just so depends on who your community is and what kind of risks you can take
Yeah.
and how much like safety there is in
Yeah.
your community.
I agree.
I don't know. It just God.
I know.
I
Well,
don't know.
for
You really stumped me.
I mean, for
What do you
me,
think?
I think when I like wrote that question, I was still really harping on the social media thing.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I think about that question, I think like, is it easier for people to be themselves now as opposed to like in the age of Paris is Burning? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, because I feel like now we're inundated with so many ideas
Mm-hmm.
of what we should be.
Yeah, and
Like from the moment we get up to the moment we shut our eyes.
exactly. And everyone is now put in the position of like you have to be a performer. Like you have to have a brand, you have to have a social media presence. Like if you are
Exactly.
on social media, there is an expectation like, okay, well now you're being perceived. So is the way that I'm being perceived like authentic to who I am? Am I being authentic to myself when I like put something out in the world in order to be perceived
Yeah.
by others? I don't know. I feel like I've pretty much always been me. Like you're going to get what you're going to get.
Same here.
If that's
And we happen to be Leos.
if there's one thing about me, it's that I am who I am.
Same.
Yeah,
The show is who we really are.
that is so true.
We're podcasters for a reason.
Girl.
It's who we are.
This is what we were born to do.
Wow. Lots to
Wow.
think about.
Lots to
And
consider.
lots we have unpacked in a little over an hour.
Wow.
Thank you so much for coming, Molly.
Thank you for having
Tell
me.
our friends where they can find you, because now they're just like, I need more Molly Smith. I need more Molly Smith.
Oh
Where can
my
I find
God,
her?
they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see how I perceive you.
Yeah.
You know, they can't wait to perceive me. You can find me on Instagram at Molly Bird Smith, Mollybirdsmith. You can find the podcast Did That Age Well wherever you listen to your podcast, and also on YouTube, youtube.com/at Did That Age Well.
Mhm.
And you can follow the podcast on TikTok at Did That Age Well Pod and on Instagram at Did That Age Well. And you can find me hanging out at Dude IDK Studios, and you can probably find me anywhere in the North Denver area. If you just kind of walk around, you'll see me zipping around on my e-bike.
I mean, she wants you to really find her.
Track me down. Tell me you love my work.
She's a Leo. Yeah, and you'll find us on each other's podcasts all the time because
Period.
we are just so incestuous like that.
We love it.
Friends, thank you so much for coming. Next week, we will be playing our live show for you. So we won't be in this studio. We'll actually be
Yay!
upstairs next week. So join us for that. And as always, live your best life. Don't be a dick. I love you. Goodbye.